Ooh, it's a good close-up of a horse's ass. Alright, hello everybody, and welcome back to some Skyrim Special Edition. Hello, guard. Goodbye, courier. Anyway, so that was weird. Picking up where we left off, we are heading into the Twilight Sepulchre to return the skeleton key to Nocturnal. Uh, there isn't a huge amount of we'll try and do this one stealthily. There are enemies in here that you can kill, but I don't think that they drop anything, so we will try and stealth our way through.
I don't recognize you, but I sense that you're one of us. Who are you?
I'd ask the same question of you.
The last of the Nightingale Sentinels, I'm afraid. I've defended the Sepulchre alone for what seems like an eternity.
The last, what happened to the rest?
We were betrayed by one of our own kind. In fact, I'm to blame for what's happened here.
How are you to blame?
I was blinded by dark treachery masquerading as friendship. Perhaps if I had been more vigilant, then Mercer wouldn't have lured me to my fate and stolen the skeleton key.
So you're Gallus.
I haven't heard that name in a long time. How do you know of me?
Because I have the key.
The key! You have the skeleton key! I never thought I'd see it again. And Mercer
Dead.
Then it's over, and my death wasn't in vain. I owe you a great deal, Nightingale.
I did this to honor the guild.
You've done the guild a great deed, and although they may not show it, I'm certain they appreciate your sacrifices. My only regret is that you had to undertake this task alone.
Carlia helped me.
Carlia? She's still alive?
Shown
I
up.
feared she'd befallen the same fate, ending up a victim of Mercer's betrayal.
Then take the key and right all of the wrongs.
Nothing would bring me more pride than to return the key, but I'm afraid it's impossible. From the moment I arrived here, I felt myself, well, dying.
How can a spirit die?
The Sepulchre isn't merely a temple or a vault to house the key. Within these walls is the Ebonmere, a conduit to Nocturnal's realm of Everglow. When Mercer stole the key, that conduit closed, severely limiting our ties to her.
Then I'll have to proceed alone.
I'm afraid so. I'm weakening, and I can feel myself slipping away. The years without restoration of my power have taken their toll. Whatever damage has been caused can only be corrected by following the pilgrim's path to the Ebonmere and replacing the key.
So what's wrong with the other... What will I face in the Pilgrim's Path?
I wish I could help you, but I've been a prisoner in this very chamber for the last quarter century. The only possible help I've come across are the remains of some poor fellow who is trying to follow in your footsteps. Perhaps his journal can help?
Was he following in my footsteps? I do believe that I would be following in his, right? Alright.
Good luck, Nightingale.
So yeah, we have the optional objective to head over here and grab this journal here. I don't know why I let Anders talk me into this plan. He said the place would be full of riches, but I have yet to see even a single gold coin to make matters. Oh, to make matters worse, I think the other priests are beginning to suspect we aren't who we say we are. If they discover we're posing as priests in Nocturnal, I'm sure they're not going to simply ask us to leave nicely. I'll have to watch my step. As an acolyte of Nocturnal, I've been assigned mentor. A mentor. Old dark elf fellow by the name of Lithellus. Maybe if I act the part, I can pry some information from him about the Pilgrim's Path. Anders swears to me that all of the temple's wealth is stashed within their inner sanctum, which supposedly sits at the end of the path, so my job is to get us through the obstacles alive. Let's see. Oh, good God, there's a lot here. Alright. Lithellus was easier to coax than I expected, gave me a wealth of information on the Pilgrim's Path, but he was speaking in riddles. I'll try to record what I remember here and share it with Anders after he's done with his mentor. The only thing Lithellus seemed clear about was that there were 5 tests on the path. This is what he said about each. Shadows of their former selves, sentinels of the dark, they wander even more and deal swift death to defilers. So we're going to stop there for now, because obviously the rest of it is just different clues as to what tests we'll face. So that one, as you can imagine, based on that, means that we're going to come across some enemies to fight, some other sentinels, like good old Gallus here, except more hostile. But yeah, like I said, we'll try and do this part stealthily. We are, after all, attempting to take the Pilgrim's Path to reach Nocturnal, you know, so we may as well try and prove ourselves as much as possible. Now, while there isn't really much of note in here, there actually is quite a bit of loot to be had in this place. Oh, good Christ.
No one hides from the dead.
Okay, can I, like, get... Now, do they drop anything? Elven arrows. That's worthless.
The endless sleep comes for us all. You dare hide from me?
I do. Should power attack that guy. I just went for a normal swing and it didn't work, obviously. I don't even know where the hell this other one is, in all honesty.
There's no more life here.
I mean, I see. Okay.
I sense a presence.
Let's get rid of them then. Yeah, like I said, they don't really drop anything of note, unfortunately. Anyway, back to business. Got a little bit of an alchemy lab here. And I do believe that somewhere you may notice that that wall to my right now does look rather suspicious. Somewhere around here. Ah, there it is. It's the button. And apparently a book that I didn't have. I will take all those. Why not? Wine, some mead, extra vigor. Gold. Alright. So yeah, like I said, there is quite a bit of loot, but none of it's gonna be all that impressive by any means, you know? So everything's in Shazar and the Divines, sure. I say snowberries. God, I can't see shit, man. It's so dark in here. I kind of wish, because like, obviously I have the spells that can like mage light and that, but at the same time, I kind of wish that I that there was a night vision spell. The Khajiit have the greater power that gives them night vision. But I mean, there's no like spell to grant it to a regular character. I didn't. So what happened there was I accidentally bumped forward on the stick as I hit the power attack button, or as I held the power attack button, and my character decided to charge into them before actually swinging the fucking axe. Not doing well on my let's do this stealthy approach. Alright, so this should be the next trial. So let's get to our many thanks. The fuck is this for? I don't even know where the fuck that came from. Anyway. Above all they stand, vigilance everlasting, beholden to the murk, yet contentious of the glow. Okay. Above all they stand. But oh, I do remember this one actually. That guy is a clue to it, because I'll show you here. You see, we get fucking obliterated in the light. And now you might think it's like, oh, can't you like do something about that? Actually, no. Even if you activate God mode, still take damage in this light because it's just damage. It's not a magical effect or anything. It is just straight up damage that cannot be blocked. So you just have to stay in the shadows, not go into the light at all. As you can see, there are like alcoves and that, but you know, and technically with, you know, if you wanted to down potions, like a huge amount of potions and everything, you can bust through the, like you can just burn your way through the light and or just power your way through it and continue on with like healing spells and that, but it's not worth it. It really isn't, because like the pathway is fairly easy. Like, see, like that's it, we're done, we made it to the end. But yeah, like nothing you can do, as far as I'm aware, will allow you to actually go through the light in this, and it will obliterate you. Because like I said, even if you use the console to toggle on God mode, it'll still kill you. Alright, so that should be that path, or that trial. So, offer what she desires most, but reject the material, for her greatest want is that which cannot be seen, felt, or carried. Okay. I mean, I realize it said reject the material, and I like immediately loot stuff, but I mean, there it is. So there's Nocturnal. So reject the material, and what she wants most is something that cannot be heard, felt, or seen, or whatever, right? So obviously there's all that. Well, I mean, you can't hear or see or feel the darkness, right? And I don't know what happens. I guess I mean, I feel like for a test there should be like a downside to taking that stuff, because you're supposed to reject the material, but crouch down again because I don't know what's next. But that seems to be that one. Direct and yet indirect, the path to salvation, a route of cunning, with fortune betraying the foolish. Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing on that one. I'm assuming I have to choose a path here. So it's just traps then, okay. Traps which, once again, here's the pressure plate for. Didn't activate them, still going. Over here. Master Lock, well that's fine, because we currently have the skeleton key, which means that it can't break on me. I kind of wish that instead of it being unbreakable, if you had the skeleton key, it just automatically put it so that, actually, what is that? The path to salvation, a route of cunning, with fortune betraying the foolish. So I'm assuming then that the foolish are the ones that try and just go through the traps, whereas the cunning, who get rewarded, are the ones who actually bothered to investigate and find that door and get through it. I do see a lot more sentinels up ahead. Maybe I should read them next, because this should be the other side. Yeah, so this is the door we could see. And obviously there was the trap there. So yeah, if you just go the straightforward path, you're gonna get hit with traps. And there's the inner sanctum. But what the hell's all the way over here then? Because if that's the inner sanctum, I mean, they're not very strong. I imagine that this will kill them in one hit. Yeah.
Does someone live among the dead?
This, because there is some skill book here, and I'm not 100% sure that I got them, because their names don't sound too familiar. Now, the thing with the Sentinels here as well is because they're ghosts, there is also a good chance that, like, even with Aura Whisper up, I won't be able to, like, see them, because, like, they might, like, up here, you know, proper lock design, lockpicking skill book, well, clearly already had that one. It's worth a lot, I'll take that. Nope, never mind. I thought that was a fancy bottle, but it was just the way the mug was in front of it. Okay. And I actually have a lot more. Sacred Witness. Oh, sneak increase. That's a good one to get. Is that dragon bone arrow? How the fuck did that end up here? Did it bounce off because they're ghosts? It can't stick in them, so it like bounces off. Is that another? Nope, just a purple book, not a glowy one. Ruby, stagger. I mean, some loot, but not a whole lot. So let's see what's this direction. Like anything really. Just same path as the other way. So you don't even need to deal with those guys in the slightest. Like not even a little bit. Very weird. Like no matter which path you take, it seems. Alright, let's see. What do we got next? Cunning with fortune. The journey is complete. The Empress's embrace awaits the fallen. Hesitate not if you wish to gift her your eternal devotion. He also mumbled some nonsensical phrase like night is the new day, and how he was the ghost of the sun. I have no idea what these cryptic sentiments mean, but hopefully during tomorrow's ritual, Anders and I will put everything we've learned to the test. Night is the new day, ghost of the sun. Alright, must have something to do with in here. Not quite sure what it has to do with it, but the part before that though did sound like a leap of faith then. Something with the fallen and to not hesitate, so it wouldn't surprise me if through here I gotta like jump down a big hole or some shit. furs. Hey, it's Anders. I can't believe it. I came all this way, solved all of those ridiculous riddles just to end up here. After I memorized Nistorm's clues he'd collected from Litholis, I slit his throat. Now I guess the joke's on me because I'm stuck here and I don't see a way out. Hope someone comes by soon. I'm getting hungry. Well, clearly, they didn't come here soon. Or at all. Alright, so the Fallen. The Empress's embrace awaits the Fallen. Hesitate not if you wish to gift her your eternal devotion. Oh. Okay, that was weird.
My, what do we have here? It's been a number of years since I've set foot on your world. Or perhaps it's been moments. One tends to lose track. So, once again, the key has been stolen, and a champion returns it to the sepulchre. Now that the Ebonmere has been restored, you stand before me awaiting your accolades. A pat on your head, a kiss on your cheek.
That doesn't look very good right there.
What you fail to realize is your actions were expected and represent nothing more than the fulfillment of your agreement. Don't mistake my tone for displeasure. After all, you've obediently performed your duties to the letter. But we both know this has little to do with honor and oaths and loyalty. It's about the reward, the prize. Fear not. You'll have your trinkets, your desire for power, your hunger for wealth. I bid you to drink deeply from the Ebonmere mortal, for this is where the agent of Nocturnal is born. The oath has been struck, the die has been cast, and your fate awaits you in the Everglow. Farewell, Nightingale. See to it the key stays this time, won't you?
Hey, Carlia, how the fuck did you get here? Why make me go through all of that if you're just gonna be like, hey, what's
Glad you were able to bring the key back safely. Nocturnal seemed quite pleased with your efforts.
Please, she sounded indifferent.
I wouldn't take that to heart. It's her way. Think of her as a scolding mother continually pushing you harder to be successful, outwardly sounding angry, but silently content. I assure you, had she been displeased with you, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
What's this about becoming an agent of Nocturnal?
The circles at the base of the Ebonmere imbue you with powers befitting a Nightingale agent. The crescent moon represents the agent of stealth, the half-moon for the agent of subterfuge, and the full moon for the agent of strife.
Why can't I be all three?
This is Nocturnal's way of maintaining balance. If you ever feel the need to change your abilities, you can return to the sepulchre and step onto a different circle. Be warned that once you've chosen, you can't reselect for at least a day.
So what now?
Now, your life as a Nightingale begins. Should the need arise, you'll be summoned to the sepulchre in order to defend it.
And you?
The guild has welcomed me back with open arms. I feel like a void in my life has finally been filled. I only hope that this isn't an ending to things, but actually the beginning.
The beginning of what?
Why, perhaps the greatest crime spree Skyrim's ever known. There are pockets brimming with coin and coffers overflowing with riches ripe for the picking. We may be Nightingales, but in our hearts we're still thieves, and we're damn good at what we do.
Oh, her dagger changed. It's ebony one now instead of one. Alright, so I was going to explain them, but let's let her. Tell me about the Agent of Stealth.
The Agent of Stealth is the master of remaining unseen, they are able to manipulate the darkness and use it to their advantage. On moonlit nights or in darkened rooms, this agent literally becomes invisible.
Alright, so that's not entirely accurate. Basically, if you it's the same ability as the Shadow Stone or the top or the 100 sneak skill, where once a day when you have it active, I think it's active for 2 minutes, every time you crouch, you turn invisible. It has nothing to do with having to be in darkness or not, just if you crouch, you're invisible. So tell me about the Agent of Strife.
The Agent of Strife can send forth a tendril of pure darkness into the heart of another, causing great injury to them. At the same time, this tether will bolster the agent's own life force, making him stronger.
Okay, so that, I mean, it does tell you, so it is a health steal based, what you could probably guess from that. I think it does 100 damage. Now, once again, it's only a once a day. But she wasn't kidding when she said a tendril, and the thing with that is that when you aim it, if there's multiple enemies in a row, you can actually hit multiple enemies in a row. And take 100 health off each of them, which doesn't sound like a lot, but 100 health is actually quite a bit in this game, especially if it's going to heal you for the same amount. Tell me about the Agent of Subterfuge.
The Agent of Subterfuge utilizes shadow to cloud the judgment of those around him. By weaving the darkness to their will, this agent can manipulate others into fighting for the Nightingale for a limited time.
So that makes it sound like it's a brainwashing. Once again, it's a little misleading, because it's an AoE frenzy spell, and I don't think it has a level cap on it. There's still going to be people who can resist it, but there is no straight level cap. So none of these are really necessary for us. Because the Agent of Stealth is nice, but we also have invisibility, just magic. Subterfuge, also nice, but we also have Frenzy, which is just magic. And Strife, once again, it's nice, but 100 damage, while quite a bit early. If you get this really early in the game, that'll take out a huge number of people in the early game. But once you get to the later game, people do tend to have higher health. But it does heal, and you know what? It's the most visual one, so we'll take the Agent of Strife, which is the full moon, I do believe. There it is. There we go. So if we go into the powers, Nightingale Strife. Instantly absorb 100 points of health from the target.
Eyes open and walk with the shadows. Gallus! I feared I would never see you again. I was afraid you'd become like the others.
If it were not for the actions of this Nightingale, your fears would have come true. He honors us all.
What will you do now, my love?
Nocturnal calls me to the Everglow. My contract has been fulfilled.
Will I ever see you again?
When your debt to Nocturnal has been paid, we'll embrace once again.
Farewell, Gallus. Eyes open. Walk with the shadows.
Goodbye, Carlyle.
There we go. I was gonna. Oh yeah, accidentally stepped on it. All right.
Yes, Nightingale. What is it?
Where will you be from now on?
I've decided to make my home at Nightingale Hall. Since it's your home as well, I hope to see you and Brynjolf there. Of course, I may visit some of Skyrim's cities to acquire things from time to time. Can't afford to get rusty now, can we?
How will I know if I'm needed here?
If this place is in danger ever again, the shadows will call. Should the need arise, a portal connects the Sepulchre and Nightingale Hall. Use it whenever you wish.
So,
Eyes open.
spoiler alert. Yeah, so you can leave through any of these. Spoiler alert, the need never arises. At no point do you actually need to get there. But yeah, so once you come here, you can go to Twilight inner sanctum, as you see, the flames have changed color, and you actually cannot go onto the pilgrim's path ever again. I mean, without console commands. I imagine you can probably teleport yourself in there somehow with those, but yeah, that's that. That is all of those. Now, you might think, oh, so that's the end of the Thieves Guild questline. Not quite. Before we do the final little bit, though, where Shadows? There it is. Night Devil. Because to be fair, we could have came back here to see this a little bit earlier, but since Carlia is now officially moved in, I guess we may as well check it out now. Like I said, unfortunately, you can't really do a whole lot with this place, but I don't remember what exactly point it is in the quest, or in the quest line, but at some point Carlia does. There she is, right there. Alduin Akatosh Dichotomy. We'll take that. The Blessings of Sheogorath. I guess we'll take that. But yeah, she moves in here, as she said. The Nightingales, Volume 1 and 2, those ones. Written by Gallus, by the way, if you notice there. Obviously are very unique books and can only be gotten here. But as you can see, she did throw down some beds, basically. And, yeah. Like I said, not a whole lot changes after she moves in. You can't really do anything extra to, like, fix it up or anything. It's honestly a very disappointing thing that they have, like, this whole place and you can't really do a whole lot with it. Like, even when you talk to her, you don't have anything that you can really do. So, like, it's cool that she moves in there. But I just wish that you could, because, like, obviously this is Nightingale Hall, so, like, her, Brynjolf, and, well, me, not that I would ever probably be there, all theoretically, that should be our new home because we're the 3 Nightingales currently, which is also why there's 3 powers, because, like she said, it's her way to maintain balance, so theoretically, each Nightingale would get a different power, right? Because one having all 3 would be too much. But,
good to see you again, friend.
Brynjolf.
It's good to see you in one piece, lad. I just wanted to give you a proper thank you for everything you've done. The guild is back on its feet again, and on its way to a prosperous future. What's become of the skeleton key?
It's been returned to the Sepulchre.
That's it then.
Sepulchre.
After all those years of helplessly watching the guild decline. But enough of that. I'm confident that with you in charge, we'll soon have more gold than we could possibly spend.
So where will you be now?
I'll be down here, trying to coordinate everything with Delvin and Vex, to make sure the coin keeps flowing, and no one skims. If you still feel like doing some jobs, I'm sure Delvin and Vex have more than their fair share to give out. Either way, it's been a pleasure, my friend. Here's to the future of the guild. May it last another 1,000 years.
Alright, so that's your standard, after you've completed the main questline thing. Now, because we've done the 4 city influence quests, we also got the under new management quest.
The time's come to make it official. It's time to become our guild master. Don't worry, I promise this will be short and sweet. If you'll just meet us in the center of the cistern room, we can begin.
You're wondering why I was trying to block him there. It's because I didn't want him to get any further away than he was already. So as you see, look, even Maven is here. Everyone, oh yeah, and there's also now a statue of Nocturnal here, and you can get it, you can go up to it and get a blessing of Nocturnal. It acts the same as other shrines, but her blessing makes you harder to detect, I think. It just gives you like an extra stealth buff. Come on, Sapphire, get into place. There we go. We good now?
Look, I've never been good at these things, so I'm just gonna keep it short. Being guild master means more than just getting a cut of all the loot. It's about being a leader and keeping this rabble in order. With that in mind, I propose that the position of guild master should be yours. Delvin? Agreed. Vex?
Sure, why not?
Carlia?
Absolutely.
Everyone is in agreement. So all I can do now is name you Guildmaster, and wish you good fortune and long life. Now everyone, get back to work.
And that's it. It's not
suppose you
very much
deserve
of
it.
a
Could
ceremony,
be worse
but
than Mercer anyway.
You need anything? Anything at all? Don't hesitate to ask.
yeah, so that's it. There's nothing else to it.
Well, that's it. Sorry if it isn't the ceremony you were hoping for, but we're not exactly known for throwing our coin around. After we're done, head over to Tanelia, and she'll set you up with your Guildmaster armor. Oh, and one last thing. Here, I want you to take this. It's sort of a tradition around here.
Alright, so we got the Amulet of Articulation and the Tribute chest key. So now, periodically, inside here will be some gold and maybe some other stuff.
If I wanted to hear a tall tale,
You need anything. Anything at all. Don't hesitate to ask.
Delvin wrote that book. And yeah, that's it. That's more or less the end of the Thieves Guild questline. Like, we'll go get our armor now, but the only other thing that we can do, like I said, is the Crown of Baron Zaya. We need to join the Dark Brotherhood for that, which also, like I said, we should be able to knock out fairly quickly here. Once we get our armor, we'll pop over and do that quest.
Here's to a long and prosperous future. May the guild last another 100 years.
Brynjolf said you had something for me?
Yes, and I'm more than happy to give it to you. I mean, look at this place. I've never seen so much wealth down here. You've made us all rich. Here you go. Should fit you like a glove, boss.
Alright,
All right then.
so that it gives us the Guild Master stuff. So the boots make pickpocketing easier, armor, carrying capacity, the gloves is lockpicking, and the hood are braces. So it's not the best set of armor, as you can imagine, but none of the Thieves Guild armor is really all that good. But at the same time, is there really any armor in the game that's good when you have enchanting? Just the fact that they added enchanting to this game, I can understand why they would want to. It really broke the game. It really made like all the rewards you can get fairly worthless. Alright. So with that done, we are going to do the first part of the Dark Brotherhood quest to join them, so that we can get our last Stone of Baron Zaya and actually fully complete our last Thieves Guild quest that there is in the game, as far as I'm aware. So now, if you don't remember, Aventus Arentino here was a rumor that we heard that he was trying to summon the Dark Brotherhood.
You old crone. You'll get what you deserve. The Dark Brotherhood will see to that. Please, how long must I... Finally! My prayers have been answered!
Are you alright?
It worked! I knew you'd come! I just knew it! I did the Black Sacrament over and over with the body and the things, and then you came! An assassin from the Dark Brotherhood!
Yes, of course, the Black Sacrament.
It took so long. So very long. But now that you're here, you can accept my contract.
Contract?
My mother, she died. I'm all alone now. So they sent me to that terrible orphanage in Riften. Honor Hall. The headmistress is an evil, cruel woman. They call her Grella the Kind. But she's not kind. She's terrible to all of us. So I ran away and came home and performed the Black Sacrament. Now you're here, and you could kill Grella the Kind.
Alright. So that begins Innocence Lost. To kill Grella the Kind. Because he thinks that we're part of the Dark Brotherhood. Because obviously he did the ritual, we showed up. We must be, right? Um, okay. So let's go see what this Grella the Kind is all about.
Those who shirk their duties will get an extra beating. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Grella.
And one more thing. I will hear no more talk of adoptions. None of you riffraff is getting adopted, ever. Nobody needs you. Nobody wants you. That, my darlings, is why you're here. Why you will always be here, until the day you come of age and get thrown into that wide, horrible world. Now, what do you all say?
We love you, Grella. Thank you for your kindness.
That's better. Now scurry off, my little gutter snipes.
Alright, so as you can see, not a very kind person.
What do you want? You have no business being in here. You've taken up enough of my time.
You
Now
really
leave.
shouldn't be here.
Is Grella always like that?
Sadly, yes. Even the townsfolk have taken to calling her Grella the Kind. Her very existence has become something of a running joke. Grelod runs this orphanage because she's old and set in her ways and doesn't know any other life. These children need love and comfort. I try, but I'm sorry. You should go. The children aren't up for adoption, and it's cruel to get their hopes up. Besides, Grelod hates visitors.
Alright, so as you can see, Grella, even though she runs an orphanage, does not actually let the children be adopted.
What do you want? You have no business being in here.
I hate it here. Grella the Kind is the meanest person in all of Skyrim.
Tell me about Grella the Kind.
I hate her. Everyone hates her. She's the meanest person I ever met. Sometimes she even locks us in the room. Constance tries to stop her, and is real good to us, but it's never enough.
Okay, I'll deal with it.
Alright then.
Let's see, what time is it?
What do you want? You have no business being in here.
Let's see. I was afraid of that. I hit the button and I was like, oh shit, as I saw Constance coming around the corner. Because as you can imagine, you don't really want to kill Constance.
Okay, whatever you say. It's Grella.
Oh my, something strange has happened. She has mysteriously died. I do enjoy killing her with that power, because it's just like, it's kind of like karma has come to collect, you know? Because to be fair, I don't know, like it says a black tendril, obviously it's not a black tendril, it's just like a wave of force that comes out. But I don't know if that's like an actual visual thing that other people can see.
Grella the Kind. Is she, you know?
Grella the Kind is dead.
Aha! I knew you could do it. I just knew it. I knew the Dark Brotherhood would save me. Here, just like I promised. This should fetch you a nice price. Thank you. Thank you again.
Alright. So Innocence Lost. Complete. There we go. So for the reward, we got the Arantino family heirloom, which is just a plate worth 100 gold. Which, as you can imagine, you know, that woohoo, right? Alright, so now you might be thinking, how does that start the Dark Brotherhood quest? Well, solid question, but we are going to, I guess it doesn't really matter where we go. We just need somewhere that has a bed. So you can't do it in Windhelm. Fucking hell. Fucking wolves, man. Anyway. Once you've done that, and you need to have the reward. You can go and kill Grelod beforehand, but you do need to have received the reward from Aventus there. And then once you have, all you need to do is take